How do you podcast then? I've never been in one of these before.
Well,
Here's what you do.
Just-
All right, so he'll intro us in with a bit of music, Triforce music. We'll wait for the music and then we'll go. And it's easy,
I'll
easily done.
alley-oop him, you dunk him, okay?
Do you have like a...
Please don't talk during the music.
There's an intro right now, Duncan.
Hello, and welcome to the Triforce podcast on the road.
We're live! You can't see us, but we are looking at each other right now.
We're joined by podcast amateur Duncan.
Yeah, we've got a guest for the first time. Duncan, you're our first ever guest on the Triforce
welcome.
podcast.
I can't be the first
You're the
guest.
first guest. We hate everybody else.
You really actually hate everybody.
It's just because I'm here.
Well,
just
that
happen
was
to
a
be
factor,
around.
but don't let that discount from the fact that you're here on the Triforce podcast.
Terps
Live.
has begged to be on the podcast so many
Yeah,
times.
Terps is going to be really mad.
Really?
Now you're
He told
on
me
it.
this really boring story about how he listens to them on his way into work every day and loves us and thinks that I'm really funny and Pyrian's really funny and you not so much. But yeah, he'll be really mad that he wasn't the first guest on this one.
I guess you're talking to Duncan there rather than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
I mean,
No? Maybe?
Yeah, it was.
So, of course, on the Triforce podcast, we talk about all the mundane, boring, day-to-day dad shit that has happened in our lives.
if you're not a dad,
Mostly
welcome.
dad shit. Yeah.
Welcome to Dad Chat.
well, Lewis
So-
isn't a dad either.
It doesn't matter.
I have
he's
to suffer
basically-
through the dad stuff.
He's also
Yeah.
Lewis in many ways acts like a dad who just doesn't have kids yet.
It's
like
true,
in
yeah.
many
He's
of
a
his
kidless
worldviews,
dad.
the way he talks, he's very
I mean,
daddish.
I guess Lewis
no,
is a
that's
kind of...
not intended as
is a father to
No.
all of the Yogscast members.
exactly. He's a dad to everybody in this building.
Thanks, Duncan. In a way, I'm your dad.
You're my dad.
And suck
Yeah.
up. Unbelievable.
You guys kind of look like you could be father and son, actually.
Yeah.
Do I look that old? Sips, that's a bit mean. Come on.
You've got facial hair, so that is an
Well, I
automatic
try my best.
indicator.
It's very kind of you.
Unless you're French Canadian, you're 8 years old. If you have facial hair, it does make you look like a man. It's not peach fuzzy. It's very, very grown in.
I've done my first
you groom it?
portage.
See, now you've
That's
truly
a
become
Triforce classic right
you've
there.
truly become a man then.
Portage.
That's
Do you know
the
what? Do you
case.
know about portage?
No.
Did you make
You
sure
better
you
leave.
brought
I know about-
exactly the right amount of food for the time that you were going to be portaging as well?
I don't know much about
That's key
Triforce
too.
podcast. I know a lot of the fans seem to have very small penises.
Or gaping vaginas.
Yeah.
Gaping.
Lest we forget the
Yeah.
vaginas.
Some people have small vaginas as well, which is awkward.
Or gaping
Well, they go well with the
penises.
small
Yeah.
penises, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a tiny vagina and a tiny penis, you could be happy.
Perfect,
If you have
yeah.
a gigantic
Yeah.
penis and a gaping vagina, again, happiness. The other way doesn't mix.
Yeah, no, not very many people say they have gigantic dicks.
Yeah, that's
either.
true.
That's
I generally
not,
get I
not,
have a
not
tiny
something
penis.
that really ever comes up, actually. It's mostly just small ones. So.
Yeah.
Well,
That's cool.
You know,
I guess we
got like a kind of
there's
thing
an
going on,
average.
like friendship. You know,
If someone
like
came
a
up to you and said,
friendship,
I
it's
have a
like
gigantic penis, you'd be like, what are you trying to do?
Exactly.
Like, are you coming
You
on
think
to
you're
me?
better than me?
Yeah, if you come up and say, I have a small penis, you're like, hello, welcome.
Fair play,
join the
sir.
club.
Sit with us.
My dad's dick is bigger than your dad's dick. Remember that one when you were a kid? My dad could beat your dad up. What does your dad do? He's a pro wrestler. What does your dad do? Accountant.
I never had to offer that because I would have had to fly my dad in. So it's
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
of course.
depressing.
Yeah.
I would have been like, my dad
Yeah.
can be your dad up in
Yeah.
about a week's
Give me
time.
a week.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
he'll
book
be
a flight
here.
and everything.
He's going to kick your ass in a week's time.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
So, have you smelled any flowers this week? Have you changed any nappies this week that are crucial to our knowledge?
Yeah, some pretty substantial nappy changes. I haven't smelt any flowers. The weather's been terrible. Haven't really been outside. Today I traveled, which is well, Pyrian will know, traveling with kids is not the best. It's pretty tiring. Something you want to avoid at all costs, and especially when things go wrong, which everything went wrong today. It was crazy. We woke up. Okay, here's the story. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Do you want to recline a bit?
I'm reclining.
All right, hang on.
All
Give me a
right.
sec. I've got to figure out what button it is.
I
on
had a
this
real
chair.
dad day today, okay? There was bad customer service, which is a huge thing for dads. You know, when the customer service is bad,
Where was that?
that's when you know it's going to be a bad day.
Jersey Airport.
At the airport. So we get to the airport. We wake up at like 6, okay? Because we had to
Shit.
get some stuff ready to leave the house at 8, okay? That's how long it takes to get out of your house when you have kids.
Yeah.
2 hours. So we wake up at 6. The whole day starts. It's fucking crazy. Everybody's screaming and trying to kill each other straight away. And we somehow managed to like have showers and dress the kids and feed them and get like some stuff packed. And we make it to the airport and it's like It only takes us 10 minutes to get to the airport. So it's like
10 minutes?
It's like 8:30.
It's a small island.
Okay, so because we fucked around, we went the wrong way and stuff a couple times and stuff.
Took me long enough to get to work.
8:30 we get to the airport and everything's cool, right? One flight had been canceled out of like 10 that were leaving that morning, and we're like, great. So we go through security, which took us like an hour because we had a fucking pram and like a million bags, a fucking sink, and like just other shit. We get through and we're like, great. And we look at the board and it's like, your flight's been delayed. There'll be another info update in an hour.
Oh, shit.
So we're like, shit.
In an hour.
We're going to have breakfast again.
Heck.
So we
Just
fucking...
to keep them busy,
Yeah.
right?
Double breakfast.
So fucking double breakfast. We have another breakfast, okay? And there's stuff everywhere. Like my daughter she doesn't eat. She takes food apart and throws it everywhere. So like on the ground, it just looks like there's been a war or like a fight or something. There's like bits of bread everywhere and like Cheeto dust and whatever.
You gave him Cheetos for breakfast?
Well, I had to, yeah.
Yeah.
She was like super insistent. Like,
All right.
What do you find those in
She just
Jersey?
she points at things and screams. So you just, yeah.
Give her the fucking
Just do
crisps.
it,
That's
whatever. So she eats all that. She makes a mess of that shit and eats some of it. And then 10 o'clock rolls around and the update comes on and we're like, oh shit, maybe it's going to be another delay. And they're like, we regret to inform you that your flight has been canceled.
So you've been up since 6.
We're in the
dealing with
airport
two
with-
children.
after a second
who
breakfast. We
1
had
and 4.
all the stuff was checked in. All the bags were like on the plane and stuff. And they're like, you have to go back and pick up your bags, and then you have to go back to the departures lounge to get like another flight sorted out. Oh, so fuck. So we go to the baggage reclaim. That took like a fucking hour.
Oh, Jesus
But
Christ.
they didn't even put the bags on the fucking plane. Like, I don't know where they were, but they just took an hour to get back. So we're just like sitting there. The kids are like going nuts and everything. We're just like super depressed and stuff. And then they book us on to like the 3 o'clock flight. And so we went home. And everybody was like, we're never going to go to Bristol.
Oh
my
my
son
God.
was crying and everything. He's like, we're never going to make it. We're like, don't worry. We're going to go back in a couple hours.
We're
It'll
back
be
home.
fine. It'll be fine. So we go home. We do a bunch of shit. We finally managed to make it back to the airport
What do you
for
do
3
at home?
o'clock.
What do you do at home
Washing.
for 2
I
hours?
guess
Yeah.
washing.
Chores.
Yeah.
Like, because there's fucking million chores to do. So we get home, we did chores for like 3
Oh
hours.
my God. What
Yeah.
did you mean you did chores?
We had to do laundry. There were dishes that weren't done. There was fucking toys everywhere.
Ugh.
We cleaned those up. Just did like some spring cleaning, which is like an ongoing thing in our house. Like
It's too
all the
cold to
time.
go outside.
It's
on
all
the
year round.
trampoline.
It was
Spring cleaning
raining.
is
It was like
12
all
months.
misty and stuff. So we did all that shit, and then so we get back up to the airport, and then everything's fine. Okay, they gave us vouchers too. They gave us 30 pounds worth of vouchers. Okay, but airport
30
food is
pounds?
Yeah, you know how much
Whoa.
30 pounds gets you at an airport?
2 cups of coffee.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So we had 2 cups of coffee with our 30 pounds at the airport, and the kids didn't have anything, and they were fucking really mad. The whole time they were like, "Can we have some coffee?" No. Well, I'm not giving you coffee. You're like 1 and 5. There's
Can
no,
you imagine?
You
no
get 'em
fucking
decaf.
way.
No.
So we get on the plane. Everything is fine. Everything's smooth. We land in Bristol, and we're like, okay, cool. Maybe this isn't so bad. You know, like we did some chores and stuff. It was all right. But we were supposed to rent a car. Okay. So we get down to the car rental place, and they made us wait for like an hour. They're like, oh, okay, we got the car and everything, but we can't find your car seats for your kids. So we're like, okay, fine.
God.
So we're fucking waiting in there for like an hour. The kids are going crazy again. Like my daughter had her like shoes in her mouth and like her socks were off and everything. We were like going crazy. And they come back and they're like, well, listen, we can't find your car seats, so we're not sure what to do. And then the lady's like, my shift is done, so I'm going home. So like,
That's a great customer response.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So we're like, well, so there's no car seats. And they're like, no. And we're like, how the fuck am I supposed to drive a car?
Just tell her take
with-
your 1-year-old to
Yeah.
the roof rack.
And she's like, I don't know. And I was just like, well, fuck, can I have a refund? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Great, thanks. That's fucking so what the fuck? So we had to take a taxi here.
Yeah.
Like no fucking car seats in a taxi. So we're just like clutching kids in
Oh,
a back seat
shit.
the whole time, like worried that we're gonna crash and stuff. And we finally made it here, and then everything's been all right since. But like the kids were all jacked up on sugar.
Yeah, we figured when we called you.
'Cause
10
we just
breakfasts will do
gave
that.
them like
Yeah.
fucking sugar all day basically. And they didn't want to sleep at all. Like my wife put a song on her phone. And they were like going crazy, like flipping chairs and stuff like that. And stuff.
They're
And
like
this
rock
is-
stars.
What song was it?
Smashing up the hotel
I think
room.
if they could pick up the TV,
Like
they
Rage
would
Against
do
the Machine
it and,
or
like, chuck
something.
it out the window and stuff. and then now I'm here. That's been my day so
So
far.
you left your wife
Jeez.
just dealing with that.
She was like dead. Like I went into the room, she had the baby, and she just like so I just peace. I'm out of here.
Wow.
And then here I am.
Jeez.
I
Wow.
just got a train here from Twickenham. It was no problem.
No, it's
Yeah.
nice. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe I'll also
You'll
be
get
able
there,
to do
friend.
that.
You'll get there.
But right now, it's not.
Don't worry. Trust me, it gets
working out.
easier. It gets easier.
I know the feeling. It's like when I bring donuts
No,
to the
you
office.
don't!
Yeah. And they have like little nibbles missing out of them
Donuts.
from all the
Yeah.
cockroaches that are
Oh shit.
infesting your
You know what?
apartment.
I was
like little tiny
waiting for someone
nibbles.
to say, "Oh yeah, my cat was really, my cat had a bad paw the other
actually, I
day."
actually had an awkward warning this morning.
Was this involving a cat?
No, it wasn't a cat. I got up and I was gonna come to work. I had to record Terraria at 11.
Oh,
It was
11 o'clock
it was
start.
quarter to 11, and I was like, probably should go now. Went down to the bike cage. My bike wasn't there.
Oh,
No, I was-
what?
Yeah.
Your bike got nicked today?
No.
Somebody
I
stole
just
your
forgot
bike?
that I left it at the office.
Oh shit! What did you do?
I got an Uber. That's the end of the story, really.
So there you go.
He arrived on time to record too.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Did you have 10 breakfasts? Did you get jacked up on sugar too?
No, I didn't have any breakfast, actually.
No. Oh wow.
No.
Holy shit.
Didn't need it.
Didn't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
I had lunch.
So you want to have kids now based on that story, right?
No,
Are
not
you
really,
like
no.
totally? You're like, yes. My 5-year plan. I'm gonna have like 3 kids. I'm ready. I'm in the zone. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm gonna get my fucking life on track, man. I'm gonna make 3 kids.
Just imagine that morning with
Sure, man.
kids.
All right.
Whatever. This sounds a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier.
Do you guys listen to like chamber music at home and stuff?
Chamber
Like,
music?
Fucking
It's
What
like,
do you mean
no.
chamber
What
music?
even is
like
that?
like French like Renaissance manner music.
Like with
sort of,
a
like,
what do they call that instrument? That's like a piano.
What? Oh shit! A harpsichord.
Yeah, like a harpsichord music.
I was thinking more like Phantom of the Opera kind of doomed sad
Oh, like an
music.
organ.
Yeah, that would kind of,
that
depress
you just like raise out of your coffin in the morning, like, you're ready for the day. Man,
Yeah, that'd be great.
I had a school nativity play recently.
Oh shit! How did that go?
Fucking awful.
Oh no!
It was
Yeah.
the most
Were you
boring
playing the
thing. No, I went to watch it. So I went to see my youngest. School is like, honestly, that you've got to teach these little kids something. You've got to keep them occupied. So they spend a lot of time teaching them like letters and numbers and reading and writing and all that stuff. And then they're like, the kids can only learn that for so much. So you got to think of something else to do that involves them moving around.
Yeah.
So when they start school in reception, they have like 3 or 4 plays a day. Like every time they just got het up, I think they just open the doors and just turf them out into the playground. They run around for a bit, and then you can teach them for half an hour, and they play for a bit. So around Christmas, it's like nativity time. So they just practice. They can learn the songs, all their bits in the play or whatever. And then they perform it. And because there are 3 classes in my youngest daughter's school, they had to perform it 3 times, once for each of the classes.
what? They
'Cause-
didn't do it like they didn't combine?
Well, they couldn't because the hall isn't big enough to fit
Oh,
for the
for
3
fuck's
classes. So they had to
sake.
do it 3 times. So she was like sick of it. And she was just
Jeez.
like humming the song.
They couldn't do like a different one? Like each class
It's
do
the
a
same-
different
no, it's
kind
the
of
same one.
players?
All 3 classes, 90 kids.
What's the
3
one
times.
with Scrooge and stuff? They could have done like one
Christmas
class
Carol,
could have done
right?
Christmas
the
Carol.
Ghost of
I don't
Christmas
know, that's pretty
Past.
dark for like a
It's a pretty
7-year-old.
A
big
whole
story.
class could have done the Ghost of Christmas
That's a
Past.
pretty big story.
It's a pretty
It
big
is- it is
story,
pretty
but
creepy.
like,
But
it's
look,
like
so
you
I
could
thought-
just get lots of extras.
But it was,
you know?
it was like 20 minutes. They sing a couple of songs, job done. Brilliant. My eldest, it was at this big church around the corner from us. All the classes in the school, the kids in her year, which is 90 kids, the kids in the year above,
90?
which is another 90 kids. That's
Fuck me.
180 kids, and they've got to find a bit for them. So they're all dressed up, and we had to make costumes at home. They have to wear the costumes in for dress rehearsal day,
Like 90 kids
plus 90
in
kids.
a play.
No, there's 180 kids. 180, 90 plus 90. Her year, the year above.
In one play.
In one play.
They won't play.
What?
I'll tell you what, only about 10 of the kids did shit. The rest of them just fucking sat there, and when the songs were on, they just sort of went,
They could
Oh,
have
they were
done
like the
like...
choir.
yeah, they were the
okay.
singing.
They were the choir.
no.
They
I mean,
should have done like a Cirque du Soleil or
They did
something
not.
with that
There was
many
no acrobatics.
kids.
So I went there to the church,
That would've
and
been
I'm
good.
sitting there. I'm like, I want to see my daughter in the play. So I'm sitting there waiting for her to come on and do her bit. She's singing the song. She's she's making a go of it and everything. And the woman organizing it was one of those people who's like super enthusiastic, like an orchestra, like a conductor or something.
Yeah, with like big bug eyes.
Right. So she
just,
walks up and like the
fucking
kids are all sat there.
bulging
She
out of her
goes
head.
like this, like everybody smile, and all the kids go like this, and then she's
Yeah.
like. And it's like, Jesus, we get it. Like, you're really into it, and it's like a big thing for you, but come on. And there's this woman next to me going, woo! The whole time. Like, she was loving it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just to rub
This is
in
all the
how
stereotypes.
much I hate
It's
it.
like the school teacher director who thinks she's Steven Spielberg and has to just unbelievably make some sort of
She was.
fucking artsy-fartsy
It was-
bullshit.
it was
You've got
just
the
like
super
that.
enthusiastic mums and dads who are filming every single thing, and
Yeah.
the audience is full of people with video cameras
I
or
was not-
phones, like just the whole audience
Yeah,
of it.
it was
You've
terrible.
got 180 kids who have to be in some fucking way, and there's like 5 of them who are trees, and they're like,
Man,
this
they
is
break
my
character
bit,
all
and
the
they
time
walk in
too,
as a
because
tree.
they see their dad and they're like,
Yeah, Dad! I'm like, sing the
fucking
fucking song. You
Oh,
meant to sing.
shit.
They didn't do that in the manger back
It
then.
went on
They
for
didn't-
an hour. An hour. So they were like,
I mean, the thing is, that
Act
doesn't
one.
sound that bad for me, but I realise how long that is for you.
It was a long time.
I
Yeah.
mean,
That's a long
I've
time.
heard a lot of stories
long were
about
your kids
sex
in it
having go
for?
to kids' birthday
How
parties.
long what?
And
What
an
were your kids in it
hour
for?
is
Out of the
eternity.
hour.
Yeah.
No, like the whole hour, we're standing there in the church. All the parents everywhere. There's not enough seats for all the parents. So I'm standing there around the side. And the kids are all sitting here, and half of them look bored after 10 minutes.
So were they all in it for the whole hour?
Yeah, they just either sat
Oh,
there.
right,
So there's
shit.
like 10 of the kids are doing the talking and the acting. The rest of the kids just sit there, and when it's a song, they sing. And a couple of the kids have like special needs, so they're just bouncing around all over the place. And this one kid was obviously like a real handful because he had
I thought you were
three.
going to say something else.
He had like 3 handlers. 3 handlers standing around him
man.
like this. Every time he jumped, they'd like
Just in
grab him
case.
and just restrain him because he's just going "Ah!" like this. Like he
Oh my
couldn't
God.
handle it. All these people and all
we
this
had a
singing.
kid like that at our school who had like 3 handlers, and one day I'm not even joking, he was walking down the hallway and there was just this massive lump and he just like shit his pants, but like a huge, just this massive lump like sticking out of his ass.
It happens.
And, and there were 3 adults with him helping him,
God.
and he just shit his pants. I don't
And
even
they
know
were
how
like
that
doing
happens.
rock
Well,
paper
how were they
scissors
going
to
to
see
stop him?
Who's
Dude
going
was
to
like
change
10.
him?
How
You
could they
think?
have stopped
One of
him?
them
No, they
could
can't.
just like no, just like fisted it back in or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ!
Fuck me.
So
Anything's better than shitting in your pants.
He was distracting, for sure, he was distracting. But then the plate, like, they'd go, scene 5. And I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. And it's like, King Herod turns up. He's like, find this baby Jesus for me. And his soldiers come up and they've got this little lines and everything. And it's going on. And the kids forgetting their lines. And the teacher's like saying, you have to tell King Herod that you will try your best. King Herod, we will try our best. I'm like, Jesus, ruined the
Jesus fucking
story.
Christ, Timmy, did you not remember your lines?
You had one line, Timmy!
Fucking idiot.
And then they like,
kid's
and an
idiot,
they
it's
were
a
like
party.
scene 8, our final scene, and everybody was like, apart from some parents were like, woo, like they're loving it. The mum
Yeah.
next to me, she was loving it, and
So-
I couldn't handle it. And I mean, then at the end, the vicar comes out, right, and he goes, I know we'd all like to get home for a nice cup of tea, and some mums are like, and this guy's like, but we do need to remember at this time of year those people who don't have cups of tea. And it was like a big sort of guilt trip. And I'm like, Jesus
America.
Christ.
Need
That's
to
when the
remember,
depressing Phantom the
Jesus,
Opera
I
music
get it,
starts
I get
playing.
it.
Jesus never had a cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. And what would he have done if he
He
had a
had
cup
gold,
of tea?
he had frankincense and myrrh,
Can't make
but
tea.
never tea.
Can't make
Yeah.
tea.
And in honour
He had
of
high
that,
grade Afghan hash.
He did.
Did he?
That's what myrrh
I
is, isn't
assume
it?
so.
Yeah. If somebody said to you, hey, dude, I've got a couple of keys of frankincense.
Yo, you got any telly?
You got any myrrh?
So listen up. Did you guys ever do a school play? And did
Yeah.
you ever? What were you in the nativity?
Oh man, I did several.
I was the
Several.
Let's let our guest.
Yeah, I'm the
Go
guest
on.
here.
Go guest. No, he's the
Oh
guest.
no,
Oh,
I can
sorry,
I can
yeah,
wait.
yeah,
I can
sorry,
wait
yeah.
for sips.
No,
I'd like to
go
know.
on.
I'm good.
We've heard a
You
story.
go,
It's
you
your
go.
turn.
I
Let's
had
go.
a story.
Guest
I was
Duncan.
originally in our Christmas school play. I was one of the Swedish, because we did like a Christmas from around the
Okay, so they had
world
to add a
type
lot of-
play, right?
Did you add 108
so it's
children?
like, it was like
Okay.
it's a small world, but
So-
it
Did
was
you have to
your
do an
school.
accent? Because I mean, GG.
No, I don't think so.
Did you
I
have to
don't
sing
remember.
"It's a Small World"? The
I
whole
think
time?
it was just because I was blonde,
Oh.
so I looked
Yeah, you can
vaguely
pass for a
Swedish.
Swede. Yeah, you can pass for a
When I
Swede.
was a kid, I was blonder when I was a kid. I'm a bit redder now, but I was blonder, and I was sweet. But then we used to do these like yearly pantos, and I was the villain on one of them,
Nice.
and I had to backcomb my hair, so it was like a big like crazy bush.
Sweet.
And I was like the bad guy, and then I also was Reverend Green in our in our Cluedo play.
Oh, fantastic! Cluedo
Reverend
play.
Green in
Yeah.
the Cluedo
Well,
play.
we never got that. I did a play when I was in nursery school, and I played a cow who was like one of the extras. Like I didn't get Jesus, I didn't get like Mary or anything like that. No, I had to play a cow.
A cow.
I had no lines whatsoever, and my tail was a brown sock, and it was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
You got one, P-Flex?
Yeah, I was in it was an Alan Ayckbourn play. This is when I was in sixth form.
Holy
I have
shit!
no idea who that is.
Alan
What is
Ayckbourn's an
that?
English playwright.
I was thinking
Okay.
of younger, but carry on.
No. I was like 16 or 17.
Oh shit! Well, you're not a kid then.
Well, it was terrifying. It was like hundreds of people, and we'd rehearsed our lines for like weeks. We'd actually, because I was doing theatre studies A level, so we had to do like a proper
Oh shit!
play.
Right, you did like a proper
play. Proper
degree.
play. And I
Well,
played
A level.
a man and his wife go to see a woman, and I can't remember what I think the play is called Confusions or something like that.
Nice.
And we had to go and see her for some kind of counselling. It was kind of weird. And then the other one, we were all in a park, sort of series of benches, and we'd sit on a bench and talk to the person next to us, and they'd get up and talk to the next person. It was like a series of vignettes, I guess. And I played a guy who I was wearing like a trench coat with no trousers. I was meant to be crazy, so I had to walk in.
What were you underneath your?
Not a flasher,
You
but
have,
just
like-
like crazy guy. I just had
Do you have like shorts on?
No,
or-
I had a pair of shorts on.
I had a
underneath.
trench coat on.
Yeah,
and
trench coat,
nothing
pair of
else
shorts,
on.
t-shirt. You know.
Inside the trench coat are little watches.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting. I had to do that, and
Man, I never
was
did
terrifying.
plays past nursery school though. Like,
No.
because you had to opt into them.
yeah,
And
you did. Yeah,
I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing it.
it was fun, but it was hard work.
I did a Wind in the Willows.
Oh,
Who were you?
Mr. Toad.
Mole.
I wasn't Mr. Toad because they had
Mrs.
to add.
Mrs. Toad.
No, I wasn't Mrs. Toad. I was one of the Toads. They had to add a lot of extra characters to
Right.
cater for the whole class. So I was wearing my mum's green yoga lycra
Shit.
and some toad ears.
Oh wow!
Whoa, you wore your mom's
And-
lycra?
What are toad ears?
I don't know.
They don't even have ears, do they?
Well, maybe eyes.
Did it feel
I was
like-
definitely wearing something on my head.
Was it uncomfortable at all to get a boner in your mom's lycra?
Oh,
I don't think I was old enough to get a
boner.
at that point.
Do you remember your first boner?
Was that your first?
Do I
boner?
remember my first boner? Yes, I do.
no, because I really don't at all.
It was a dark and dreary night. I'd just seen
I don't
Princess
remember my
Leia
first
in her
boner.
metal bikini.
I'm trying to think now.
I definitely don't.
I'm trying
remember
to dig
first
up my
boner.
first boner.
Not a chance.
I can remember a lot of them, but not that one.
No.
Man, I've been through a lot of boners in my life.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
boners.
Yeah.
Accidental boners, like, you know.
Who out there isn't thinking about boners right now?
That's just the
Everybody.
feeling of a good boner, though,
Oh,
man.
man.
Can't beat it.
Everyone needs a
Everyone needs a good boner.
goddamn
Reassuring.
good boner in their life. If you don't have a good boner in your life, man, you're missing
I
out.
think that's why people carry guns. It's
Why?
kind of because if it's pressed into your hip
Yeah.
there, it kind of feels like a boner.
It's
maybe
like a
it's like a
reassuring
reassuring
kind of-
weight.
Oh shit!
Like
yeah,
a
that's
reassuring boner.
That's why if you carry
Which-
more
that's-
guns,
That's
you
the
feel
name of
more
this
powerful.
podcast, guys. Reassuring boner.
Reassuring boner. There's your
Triforce
title.
Live. Yeah, first
Yeah.
boners are a bit of a weird one. On the topic of plays.
Yeah.
Let's stay on that.
Yeah, no. Did you guys ever do air bands at school? Is that
No.
a thing?
No.
Like, you know, when you pretend
Right,
you're
right.
singing?
I know what
air
air
band?
guitar
We used to,
is.
yeah. Every year we used to have like an air band competition, and so
Okay.
and it was almost like there was like a season leading up to like the finals. So like every week there'd be a couple of air bands, and then
Wow.
they'd get
That's
voted
really
to go
cool,
ahead.
man. I fucking wish
And
we had
then
that.
there was like near Christmas, there was like a big finals, and then whoever got voted went to like do a regional.
National, yeah.
There was like a regional.
Oh, sorry, that was regional.
Yeah.
And then Canadian national.
No, there was no national.
Did you like
No,
pick a
just
song
regional.
that you'd play to, or
Of course, yeah. So
Was
like,
it always
Oh, shit.
Nirvana?
one year we did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Oh my god, no way!
But we
How would you airpan that?
we didn't know who Queen were at the time, and we thought they were Kiss, so we dressed up as Kiss and did
Oh,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
my god!
Man, we were like 9. Okay, we didn't fucking know, and I had like these jeans on that were so fucking tight, I could not take them off
God.
like for the life
You were
of me.
9 years old.
I wore
wearing the
like jeans
tightest
from when I
jeans.
was like 4 years old. When I was 9, I could not get them off.
Wow.
Like it was pretty good.
playing
But then,
Still wearing them
when we
today.
were like
this
14,
day.
I think we did Ghostbusters, and
That's more
we
ba- that's-
were, we
that's
were
more
like
like
runner
it.
up. We almost won.
Wow.
What
was
the air
fucking cool,
guitar
man.
version of?
Ghostbusters. It was like choreographed.
Air band.
We had people dressed up
band,
as the
sorry.
Ghostbusters. I was a ghost. Like
Were
we had
you?
all these moves and
What
stuff.
kind of ghost? Were you Slimer?
I was like a zombie sort of ghost.
Right.
Yeah.
Zombies
I
aren't
did the
ghosts.
start.
I hate to be that guy, but
Well,
What do you mean
it's
you
like-
did the start?
It was like a ghoul.
You kind of
ghoul.
shambled in, did you?
Yeah, like there was like this like you know Thriller.
yeah.
You know how before the music starts, there's like a little bit of a lead up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the same thing, but
Ooh.
Ghostbusters.
Oh,
So
I
there
like
was like
that.
2 girls talking. Okay, they were our friends,
Okay.
and they were like, "Hey, so what are you doing tonight, Cindy?" Well, you know, just gonna do some drugs, Monique, and stuff. They're having like a little chat, and then I came off stage. And I was like, scared them away. Yeah, and then the Ghostbusters came out, and then it was like,
Oh my God. This sounds amazing.
Yeah. It was fucking cool.
And they
man.
threw the
Yeah.
toaster out with the.
did your parents film
Yeah.
this?
No.
Oh,
This was but way before people
Man, we
would
were
just
like in
be
fucking
a-
high school. Like we
Shit.
didn't want our parents to come.
That sounds
watch
awesome.
It
I
does
would
sound
love to
awesome.
see
It was
that.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then quickly we devolved into degenerates and never did anything like that ever again. So
Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
spent the rest of high school just being clowns
What the?
on the
What?
weed. Spent a lot of time on the weed
Yeah.
while we were in high school, so we didn't really do anything cool.
I
after
don't
that.
remember anything else from
Yeah,
school.
We just did a lot of.
did go to band
we did-
camp.
We did a skateboarding stuff, and then just did a weed once in a while, and that was
Did
it.
it? Oh, weed.
Yeah, just 1 or 2, and that was it.
That's the cool way to say.
Did you have those what they call snake boards?
No.
It was like 2 independent foot things that twisted, and you had to like move them in the right way, and then it would like
No.
shoes?
it would like move
You would
along.
get beaten
It was
up
like a
if you'd had
skateboard.
one
It was
of
like a
those at my
skateboard
school.
with
It was like a skateboard that was
slippery
cut in
sides.
half
Yeah,
with
no.
like a kind of joint in the middle.
roller skates.
And you'd like move your legs. No.
It's jointed.
It's
Okay.
jointed. You put your feet on it, and you'd like have to move them in a certain way, and it would like.
It sounds like if I was a real skateboarder, I would be furious.
They sound like a very modern thing for these
I
guys.
remember-
You got to
yeah,
understand.
that's too
Like-
modern. How old are you, Duncan?
I'm 29.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can
Yeah,
just
see.
get to fuck.
We had the
You
big
remember
skateboards for a
snake
while,
boards?
and then we got the smaller skateboards, and that was
Oh
it.
shit!
That's all you had.
Do you have the ones just the one lip thing?
Yeah, the
Did
really
you
big
make
ones, the big wheels.
soapbox cars
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yes.
No, we never did.
We
no.
made one, and the one that we made, me and my friends, was based on the
Award-winning.
Ecto One, the
Whoa.
Ghostbusters.
No fucking
car.
way.
It was just your average go kart, but that's what we wrote on the back, and we would race it up and down my friend Matthew's road. It was
Did you make a go kart when you were a kid?
There was one time when
It was shortly after my first boner. I remember it very well.
we did try and make a go-kart, and we pushed it down my driveway. We pushed my brother in
Yeah.
it off down, my younger brother, obviously, it's off the driveway,
And then
right into the road.
nice.
As a fucking car
Yeah,
was
yeah.
speeding down
Oh,
the road,
shit.
and they swerved to avoid my brother crashing into a fence.
Oh my god!
My dad had to repair the fence.
Shit.
And,
Why didn't you just
my
get
brother
someone to
almost
do it?
died.
I had to
Oh my
repair my
God.
fence recently. I just got someone to do it.
Yeah, but he was
fucking
probably
paid
a kid. You couldn't just pay someone
What
to do
if
it.
you smashed down someone
paid him.
else's fence? What
I would
happens-
get someone to do it. I'd be like, hey, I fucking smashed it. I fucked up. Fucked up bad. Knocked over a fence. You get out here and repair it.
we used to do this thing where we'd all we'd have these like, old the old skateboards of just like the big old ones with the one like bendy bit at the back.
Yeah, with the big wheels.
Yeah. And we'd all get one of them each, and we'd sit on them. And there was this big, massive fucking hill in our village, and we'd all just line up. There was like 4 or 5 of us, and we'd just line up on the road, and we'd sit on them. We wouldn't stand on them. We'd sit on them, and then we'd just go down this massive hill and try and knock each other off.
Oh shit!
And anyone that got to the bottom,
Did you get all gravelly burned and stuff when you?
we did a lot,
fell
yeah.
off?
But
Ew.
like there was this old lady's garden at the bottom of the hill that we'd used to stop ourselves.
Oh, Mrs. McGregor!
Yeah.
And we'd, after like a day of doing this garden would be fucking ruined.
Oh
Jesus.
shit!
And she
super old?
She was super odd
And
she didn't-
angry?
Well, she didn't really come out and say anything,
She's
but I'm sure she
terrified.
would have. I'm sure
Yeah,
she would have
she's
said
too scared.
something. We
I
like.
don't like people.
She had this like particular pretty bush that we just used to stop ourselves by hitting, and by the end of the day, it was just a mangled
God,
mess.
kids are awful. aren't
Yeah,
they?
kids don't have any fucking respect. That's the problem. Like,
Oh, Mrs. McGregor.
oh, Miss McGregor's bush has just been trampled.
memorial bush. I remember him he died during the war. I've kept that bush. He loved that bush.
She can't call the police.
For him.
Oh shit!
Those kids have no.
outside pruning my bush.
They've been in my bush again, officer! Oh, Mrs. McGregor.
bush.
No one's been in your bush for many years.
Many years, yeah. You should be so lucky.
Poor Mrs. McGregor.
Poor Mrs. McGregor.
Hey, I remember one time we entered a Lego building competition.
Yeah.
Okay. And because we used to play a lot of Lego. We were like 15 at the time. And me and my friend were like,
That's pretty old for Lego.
fuck these
No,
guys.
it's
All
not.
right. We're gonna
15.
we're gonna kill these guys. We're gonna make the Starship Enterprise out of Lego. But I didn't have like many gray Legos. I had like all the clown color Lego. So we started making like the saucer section, and then we were like, fuck, this looks terrible. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, fuck, just get the instructions from one of the sets and we'll just fucking build a set.
You can't just do that with like the bits though.
So we were like, fuck, it's just gonna be kids entering this competition, right? We're gonna kill it.
just buy the really expensive.
So you're like teenagers.
So we take down like this made up instruction made like spaceship set, okay, with us. And we're like, fuck, we won this, no problem. We take it down
Every
to the
other kid
place.
just has like
And
these
holy
sets.
fuck, we get there and there's like these massive 2D Super Marios and like all this shit. Somebody made like a fucking huge Game Boy like out of Lego, and we're like, oh shit. And I just like quickly ran back to the car with this like thing. Put it in, my dad's like, hey, what are you doing? You're not gonna take it? No.
the competition is way too rough.
Take me home. It was fucking yeah, it was like the biggest
Oh my
backfire
God.
ever, man. It was so bad.
We used to do at school every year, there'd be a competition where you were meant to bring in a hobby that you were doing and display it in the hall, and people would come in for the day and sort of go around and look at your hobbies, and the teachers would go around and grade them. So I just used to put my fucking Warhammer figures up there or whatever, and they were
Yeah.
poorly painted, but they were like, there's my whatever.
What army did you have?
I was Space Marines.
Oh, boring.
So 40k.
Nice.
So I just put all my shitty Space Marines up. I was like, there it is. They weren't even very well painted. It was just shit. But it was like, you had to do something. And I was
Well,
like,
the Ultramarines,
ponk. There you go.
just blue.
No, it was just regular. I painted them all green and put flock on one of their shoulder pads. So
Dark
they were kind of
Angels.
camo. I don't know. Anyway.
Did you guys do like those science fairs? Did you ever have science fairs?
We
at
never
school?
had science fairs in my school.
That's not a thing we did in the UK. No.
I don't think that's an
Really?
English thing.
Yeah,
I
we
think that's an
didn't
American
do
thing.
What
or
the
Canadian
fuck?
thing.
My friend Aaron
You didn't have
Dwyer.
a science fair.
No.
But that was the thing. Aaron Dwyer, who was the kid in our year who was, I now realise, deeply autistic, like seriously autistic, but he was
always
never
are.
diagnosed,
They
right? It
always
was just
are.
like,
No,
he was
because
just,
back then that was not a.
he was
not
just a
not
bit
word.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He's a weird kid.
So he would turn up every year. He was massively into astronomy, loved his astronomy, and he would have this amazing little diorama of all the planets and a tape recording. And you were meant to go up and press play on the tape, and it was like an hour-long lecture from him about the planets, okay? And of course, what we would do, and I deeply regret this, is record over this lecture,
Sex sounds.
and we would just go, I'm a spaz. I'm Aaron Dwyer, and I'm a massive spaz.
Oh shit!
Like,
You
for
should have just
like
done a
10
lot of
minutes, and then
grunting
just
and
rewind
like.
it and leave that. So
Oh,
people would go
fuck
up and press
me.
play and just say, I'm a massive spaz, I'm Aaron Dwyer, I'm a massive spaz.
Oh my
I
god.
cannot
terrible.
believe that.
Terrible.
Oh, that's fucking
That
bad,
is
man.
awful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
You are the fucking worst.
He
It
had
wasn't
it- he had
just
it come
me,
into him.
all right? Much like Hitler.
It was a whole team of
I had a whole
people.
bunch of guys
It was
with
a whole
me.
team of guys.
Oh my
It
god.
was really original comedy as well.
It
Oh,
was-
that's proper bullying.
Well, we were
that.
Yeah.
kids. So it was a boys' school school, everybody got bullied. That was the way it was.
Holy shit, that's pretty good though. We used to back before, like nowadays, like at school in a computer lab, everything's fucking firewalled to shit. You can't go to certain sites and stuff. Back before that was like a thing, we had a computer lab. It was all these like old ass Macs and stuff, and it had internet access. And we had like this thing at school. It was like this community portal, and you signed up, and it was like Facebook.
Yeah.
But like fucking years before Facebook, and it was total dog shit, and nobody used it. But so we'd go into the computer labs. We had a whole afternoon of Photoshop class. Okay, this is when Photoshop
really?
first came out.
Shit,
So like
we
my
never
whole
had Photoshop
afternoon was
classes.
Photoshop, and you had to do all these all this shit where you had to like clip out a flower and superimpose it on something and stuff. So we finish up all that shit, and then we go around to all the computers, and we go to like gay.com, or like we'd find like fucking
Newgrounds.
like
That's what we spent
Goatsy
all
or
day
like
on.
Lemon Party, and we just like on all the computers we put it up on screen and then switch off the monitor, so the next
Oh my
class would come
God.
in, and like you'd hear them come out at the end of the class and be like, oh shit, fuck, there was some
shit.
girl pooping into a guy's mouth, and we're just like in the hallway
Holy
going,
shit.
ah! Like,
But you
just
had
like,
to see that to put up in the first place.
Yeah, but if it's your joke, it doesn't
yeah,
fucking
you
affect
get
you.
really
It affects you just
desensitized
as
quickly.
much.
Like you see
Shit.
a lot of that stuff, but for the greater good, right? So
Yeah.
that it's up on all the screens, in the computer lab.
the worst thing we ever did was
Some people got in trouble because like the
Yeah.
teacher come by and be like, "What the fuck you looking at?" Be like, "It wasn't me." We'd like leave it on. So it was like so
we
good.
learned how to overclock the school PCs, and we used to just we just put them up to like the max, and then
With
they
the
would
turbo
just
button.
fucking explode.
That's the turbo button.
They would just melt down.
God.
We must have killed like 4 or 5 PCs.
Man,
No,
there's a line.
Oh
though.
my
That's like
goodness.
actual
When you're
destruction
when
of
you're a
property.
kid,
Like,
when you're a
holy
teenager,
shit.
you do some horrible stuff. Like
Yeah.
I remember we went to a house party, and it's one of these teenagers' house parties where they're kind of just expecting bad stuff to happen. Okay, and so they had a photocopier, and someone took a load of like photocopies of their ass and sack.
They had a photocopier in their house.
Yeah. Yeah, and someone took a load of photocopies of it. They were like just stuck everywhere. And then like people just, oh man, it was like people made ass prints on the windows and stuff. And so like, it was almost like stuff like you clean up after the house party and you're like, hey man, I've cleared everything up. And then
Was that
one
the
day there's
thing?
like a foggy day.
Because was that the giveaway? It was like you cleaned up everything. Everything was pristine. You couldn't
But-
tell that there was a house party.
No.
But then there was ass prints.
There was like ass prints, that's right.
Hang on a second. These ass prints weren't here before we left. And then they start noticing, like, that ceiling tile's cracked. You've been having a house party, you son of a bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so there
We
were
had
just
that.
these secretive like you'd like it would be a hot day and the windows would fog up and there would be like an ass print just come out on the foggy window.
What the
and you'd be
fuck?
like,
Who's been putting their bare ass on this window?
it would be that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
Jeez.
Just
That's not that bad, though. I mean, at least he didn't overclock a bunch of, like, expensive equipment and ruin
Yeah.
it for everybody. Like,
I didn't go to many parties when I was a kid, like house parties.
no?
Like I'd be invited, but
Did you guys, is house parties like a big thing in the UK?
yeah,
it was
it's
in
pretty much
North
the same.
America,
But I
man.
didn't
It's
have a
all
car.
fucking
I had no
time.
car and no way of getting here and there.
Well, I lived in a little village, so the only way
that's
to have a
convenient.
party was to have a house party.
Oh, right.
There wasn't
Yeah.
any like bars or anything.
Yeah.
Like my friend Ben, one time he was having a party at his house, and one of the girls there called up and she was like, "Are you coming to the party?" I was like, "I don't have any way to get there." She was like, "Oh, you could get a cab over," and I was like, "Shit!" Like I had enough money to get a cab probably, and then we'd sort something out. When it came to getting back, who cares? Like I'm at a party, I don't care. She said, "Because Ben's sister really likes you," and I was like, "Really?" And I said, "Which sister?" Oh wait, you mean I can't remember her name? And I realized he had one sister who was quite a bit younger, and when it was like just a little bit younger than me, I was like, if it's the one that's just a little bit younger than me, then I'll probably go to the party.
Cool, but if
And
it's
it
the
was her.
7-year-old,
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm
I'm
out.
out.
So it was the one that
interested.
was like a couple of years younger than me. I was like, well, yeah, it's okay. And I said, wait a minute, doesn't she have like really bad eczema? And he was like, yeah, she does. And I was like, I'm not gonna go.
Oh no!
But, I mean, I feel bad because it wasn't that bad. But when you're a kid, it feels like, oh, no, she's got a bit of eczema on her legs. That's a no.
No legs.
Yeah, so even on her legs.
You had to see her legs in
very
order
pretty.
to
I was
know
just
that.
a twat. I should have said, yeah, I'll be there in 2 seconds. Fucking run round. Even though it was Southbourne, that's a hell of a way from Westbourne.
Southbourne massive. Real like no Westbourners would go to Southbourne.
No, it's no. Southbourne is like a fucking suburb, dude. Like it's not a scary area. It's just a fucking long way. Like, you'd have to go. I'm in Westbourne, all right? Southbourne, you'd think it would be close. It's not close. It's like the other, so you could go past Boscombe. That's the problem. Boscombe is a hellhole.
So how did your teenage crushes go? Did you have a lot of them on the go at once? Did you sort of juggle them?
I had a few. I had a couple of girls I dated. There were some that were conveniently located in like Charminster, not too far.
Charminster.
Yeah, and where was another girlfriend I went out with? Oh, she was in Lower, which sounds bad, but it's not that bad. She was near the university, anyway, what is now the university. She's a nice girl, but she was a bit crazy. That was worth a bus ride. That was one bus. Yeah. Southbourne was 2 buses. That has to be a very special young lady. And eczema is the killer on that one.
There was a girl, I rode the bus to school with a friend who was a girl, and we were friends for a long time. Right. And one of her friends, she invited her out to a local...
how old are you at this point?
I'm like 16.
All right, describe her.
Wow.
Okay, 15, 16.
Yeah, describe the girl.
And she is going to be in the year... Because this girl was on the bus for a year below me, so she must have been 15.
Right, okay. Then don't describe it.
And we go to the pub, right? And the pub... They know me, okay, right. Because I know...
Because you're Lewis Brindley of the Oxford.
You're like fucking Norm.
I know someone
Cheers.
who owns the pub, someone whose dad owns the pub, so I could always get served.
Right. Impressive.
And so, so I'm like pretty... Anyway, she's about, I'd say 5 inches taller than me, so I wasn't sure I'd get in there, okay?
Did she have big boobies?
Did she fall asleep on command? Like, were you Deuce Bigelow?
What does that even
Male
mean?
gigolo.
Anyway, so at some point in the night...
Oh my God.
We start kissing.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Oh,
and her idea
was it
of
pecking,
kissing...
or was it like...
Is like an octopus just going at it. Like,
give me that octopus.
That's the best.
It's like... and all the old men in the pub, everyone else in the pub is just totally aware of this happening. Okay, it was just
They're watching 2 children get off with each other.
Yeah. Jesus
in
Christ.
the most kind of
amateur hour.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And so that just, man, it was a glorious moment.
This is the first boner. People are saying
was that,
this is first.
Was that your first boner?
that was double boner territory.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
That was my first double.
Yeah,
I just got one just thinking about it.
Yeah, me too, man. Actually, keep going.
It was,
if you don't mind.
It was so fucking awkward.
Bet it wasn't at the time, though.
Not at the time, no, not at the time. The time was
You're like, this
amazing.
is the sexiest thing anyone has ever done in the history of humanity.
Yeah. And then, wow, that was... it never worked out.
Was it a first base night, or were other bases rounded on that night?
No, there were no more bases.
Night?
No, of course not. No more bases were
We don't
rounded.
really use the base system.
No.
Yeah, but you understand the base.
Vaguely.
No, I don't think I really do.
Which one is
actually.
Third base is like
That's
your dick is out and is like in.
There were nothing. It was
a
just
home
kissing.
run?
What's fourth
A
base?
home run is like the whole shebang.
So
like
what do you? How is it? What is third
There were
base?
no
A home
shebangs.
run is necessarily anal, but I suppose if you're really into that.
What's a sack fly? What does that count as? Or a bunt? What's a bunt?
I don't know. It's not a base, so
What about a ground rule double?
it's not a base. It's like there's 3 bases
thinking
and
like
there's the home plate for the home run.
home run. So a home run, literally home plate.
A home run literally is
You had sex.
you go around
You did
all the other
and then
bases and then the home
You
plate,
slid into home
which
plate.
may or may not be anal.
Okay. And you're safe at home.
Well, you're safe. You've goal achieved if you're at the home plate.
What would a walk-off home run count as?
what is this?
A bunt is a sacrifice played to help a brother score.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Wingman.
Yeah, no, I
There's
can
a
see
bunt
that.
and a sack
yeah.
flies to help him go all the way. Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
Wingmanning that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Oh, honestly, like the teenage years are just the puberty is just a mess of embarrassment and
It's horrible.
and
I wouldn't
stuff
get back.
that you
I wouldn't
regret.
get back.
I wouldn't go back.
No, I wouldn't change it for the world. You know, it was great, and it's all.
I'd change a lot. There's a lot of girls I would have had sex with if
Yeah.
I'd been into it. Like if
Yeah.
I'd known
Knowing
was
what I know
happening.
now,
No,
I was
no.
way too
Then
choosy. I was
It's
like,
all
eh.
about
I don't know.
innocent.
Knowing what you know
kind of
now, you probably
cuteness.
wouldn't because
No.
they were very underage.
completely the opposite.
Well, yeah, but I
actually.
would be that age.
Man.
If I went back as a 40-year-old, it would be fucking weird.
Yeah.
But if I could go back to my younger self as a vision and say, you will be able to have sex with a bunch of girls and you'll turn them down because their hair's a bit weird that day or you don't like
They
their
have
t-shirt.
eczema.
Don't be so fucking choosy and then disappear into the future. I'd be like, Cool.
No, yeah, knowing what I know now, my teenage years would have just been one long hardcore porno.
Yeah, I'd be a party
What are you
every
saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Oh my god.
Well, it's
Oh
Shit,
god!
man.
Were you really able to just blag that many ladies? Really, you guys saying that you were like players? That
No, I'm
I
saying I
never
could have
fucking
I
been.
had
said
so
that.
much opportunities.
They
said I
weren't
could have been.
players, but
That's
if
the
they
point.
knew what they
There
knew
were-
now,
yeah. Could have been,
No
yeah.
problem. I would have gone to all those stupid parties, and I would have had sex with all those girls that I rejected because I had. Of
course you would have done.
Do you know what I used to do sometimes? I would not go to a party because I'd be too busy playing Pharaoh on my computer.
Pharaoh.
Knowing now what I know, would I have done that? Hell no, I would not have.
You would have been around that fucking party.
Because I
You've
would
got
have
years for
understood
Pharaoh.
exactly that exact. This guy knows what's up.
But if you had never played Pharaoh, you may never had played World of Warcraft. You may never had joined the Oxcast,
You're not helping.
and you would be still a computer programmer for a
but-
bank.
Yeah, but you know, it doesn't matter. Like,
But you would have had sex with a 15-year-old
Exactly,
girl,
it's-
so who gives a shit?
gives a fuck.
When he was 15.
Just to clarify,
yeah.
let's clarify that. Holy shit! Maybe this was a bad topic to
No, this
to
is
walk us
interesting.
down.
This is cathartic.
Yeah, it is actually. It's nice. It's nice reminiscing. It's nice looking back. It's nice. It's nice opening up the time capsule.
A lot of names.
Shit, I
Lot of
buried
names
it. I
coming
buried a
now.
time capsule.
Did
No,
you
you
actually?
fucking
What's in
I
it?
did.
Everyone says that they did. Nobody did though.
I can't remember what was in it actually.
Picture of your bum you took at a party.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like a
Shit.
photocopied.
This is what my balls looked like in 1986. Just in case I forgot, I took a picture of my balls.
What will the people of the future
And
think
50
of my balls?
years later, me and my family dug up the time capsule, forgotten what was in it completely. And my son turned to me with
Oh,
a tear in
shit.
his eye and said, "Dad, why is there a picture of a bald set of balls in this time capsule?"
That would be such a troll. Holy shit, like a 50-year troll. That'd be glorious.
Fuck me.
Oh shit!
I don't think they do time capsules anymore. 'Cause
They
I think
do,
the
they
thing
do.
is,
They totally do.
back then, there was nothing that could withstand the forces of nature, right? Everything would deteriorate. All the shit would get all gunky. You wouldn't know what the fuck was in there. It would be nowadays, yeah. There's like synthetics and shit that could keep that stuff safe. But like, fuck, nobody does that.
They
now.
were a big meme back in the day. Though everyone was doing time capsules, putting stuff in them, like putting marbles and.
It was because it was the
yo-yos and-
millennium, you know,
pogs
like
and
the year
Pokemon
2000
cards.
is like a big, you know, it's a big like milestone year. So like people, you know, it's one of the
Put all
kind of
my
years that people
holograms
might want to come
2000.
back. Yeah,
I was
exactly.
at fucking university. What am I going to do? A fucking time capsule? Fuck that. I was too busy getting
No,
drunk.
no, I'm just saying this is why
Yeah.
people were into it, you know, because it was like a, you know, a milestone.
Yeah, milestone.
You know, you look at the future, people don't give a shit about 1998, but 2000,
All right,
that's
here
a
you go.
big
What
year.
did you do on the millennium?
I drank a bottle of champagne with Mrs. F and had sex. With
Wow.
Mrs. F.
Wow.
I went to
I let off
France.
fireworks.
I was
in my
actually
garden.
in France, and it was cool. We had a
Yeah.
party in France.
Shit.
With Mrs.
Party in France?
With
With
Mrs.
Mrs.
F.
F.
Yeah, with Mrs. F. Yeah, we had sex too. True
Gets
story.
around,
She had a
gets
busy
around.
night.
Yeah, she gets around. Ooh, gotta go.
Well,
What?
it's the time zones, right? So it was like the millennium in France, and then it was the millennium in the
She hopped on the
UK.
ferry. She was back inside.
Yeah,
Why is there a helicopter landing in the back garden? Mrs. F, you look tired. What's
yeah, it was
Shit.
fun. What'd you do?
I was at
What was I? I was
at a creepy village hall party in my local village with all the mums and dads and uncles and aunties. It was very,
That's no good.
Sounds pretty
Shit.
creepy. Man.
very shit. Yeah, I really.
Duncan?
It's depressing.
I was like,
millennium.
what? I was like 13.
Yeah.
Let's play Pokemon.
So I think
On my Game Boy
I had
DS
some
with my
fireworks from
friends all
Lidl's
night.
that I had got.
Oh yeah, Little was here in 2000.
Lidl's still around.
No, they just arrived because when I was at university in 1999,
are still
they opened the first
best.
one in
They're
Plymouth.
super cheap
Yeah.
and they're fun, and you should play with them.
Do not.
This is what I used to do as a kid. I used to play with fireworks a lot. And we let some fireworks off. I think we got like what we do is we get like all the Lidl's fireworks from a box. We gaff tape them all together. We twist their wicks together, light the whole lot, and just see what happens.
Village life.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
That is village life. I'm sure I did that
I bet
20
the whole
times.
town was there as well.
No, it's
The
just
whole
me,
village.
me and a few mates.
That's the whole village.
Yeah, my family.
Village. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
going
We
up
knew a
in
guy
village.
like that. He put I was like lighter fluid or something down one of those spinny slides and lit it on fire
Yeah.
because he thought that planes would be able to see like the spiral of fire.
What?
And we were just like, the fuck, man? Like, why would you? And he just reeked of like fucking gas and stuff like all the time. It's like, it was just fucking weird, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's all right, but
Shit.
I don't think any
That's pretty
planes
weird.
would have seen that.
No, I don't think,
And there's just this
I don't
big
think if they
skid
did
mark on
see
a
that.
kid's slide, like forever after that too. Like you go to the park and be like, oh yeah, remember that time Eric fucking burnt the slide, thinking that a plane would see it.
Oh, it's like a plastic slide.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
one
shit,
of those
so it,
like
like, burn-
red,
it
like
properly burn
twirly.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
The local pyromaniac.
Shit.
Yeah, we had plenty of those. One of my friends ordered a bunch of industrial fireworks one time and just...
Industrial fireworks. What
Yeah.
is an industrial firework?
They
They're
have to
like
set
the
it off
ones
for,
they use in London.
yeah,
like
business purposes.
yeah.
They're like a keg of beer. You know, they're like a gigantic barrel. And you sort of just put it in your garden, which is, you know, not very big anyway. And you light it and you think, oh, this will be fine. And then as soon as it starts going off, you will run inside as it sort of sets your entire back garden on
Oh,
fire.
man.
And sets,
In New York City, I don't know about the rest of the state, but fireworks were, when I was a kid, illegal.
In New York?
In New York,
Illegal?
yeah, you couldn't buy them.
I
So
know that, like, in general, like Americans have bigger laws on
fireworks are
fireworks.
generally a
Yeah.
lot more restricted. But when I was a kid, this was in the 80s, fireworks in New York City, I don't know if this is still the case, New Yorkers, were illegal. So we got them from the Russians who lived across the road from us.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So there was a Russian family,
Yeah.
the Bartoshes, and they
Go
would
on,
go...
Lewis. I know you're itching to do your accent. You pretend.
The Bartosh
Do
family.
a role play.
hello, period.
Hello, Mr. Bartosh.
I have some things you might be interested in.
They would like fireworks.
I have heard it is a celebration of New Year. I've acquired some objects you may have be like to use on the celebration
By the way,
of.
congratulations on your first boner. We just got one.
By the way,
I have some fireworks for you.
my daughter Magdalena, she's a 6'3". She says she licked your face off at local pub,
Like
octopus.
No, I do not know what you're talking about.
And I've come by off back of lorry, some
Lorry.
some off back of truck. I don't know. Some explosive or fireworks or. And so it's interesting,
Italian,
real
whatever.
good price.
Hey, what are you going to do with the fireworks?
Says the
yeah,
my
that
Russian
was him
accent,
brought them, and he came round to our house, and he just had a briefcase. He just sort of looked at us all, put the briefcase down, and he was like, nodded, clunk, clunk, and opened it up. And it was just fucking full
It's
of
just like a
fireworks.
big red button. You press the whole house goes up.
But he had this thing in there called a blockbuster,
Oh shit.
and it was like a stick of dynamite, basically. And when he set
Hmm.
it off, the whole block like shook. The whole, the
it
whole
was just
block.
it was a bomb.
It was a bomb.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
bomb.
Okay.
So we
Is
had all these
bomb.
fireworks. Is
It's a bomb.
He's bomb.
What's this one? Is bomb.
It's a bomb.
Bomb.
So
It's actual.
it's actual. Yes. So not said it's actual.
This is nitroglycerine.
With full of USSR, Russia have many excess bombs.
It's also radioactive a little bit. It's okay.
It's smaller anyway.
So we set off these fireworks, and it was mad because I realise now, looking back, my parents and the Bartoshes were fucking hammered, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I was just thinking, wow, mum and dad are acting really funny,
shit.
but they were just drunk. So they set off these fireworks, and they set off a rocket at one end of the drive. We had a long driveway that ran along the back of all the houses in our row, and we were the only ones in a row who had fireworks because everyone's, it's hard to get. So we set this firework off this rocket, and it was meant to go up in the air, and the bottle it was in tipped over and it shot down the alleyway. And it was chasing after Mrs. Bartosh. She was running down, it was chasing down there. And then, this is weird. Next to where we grew up, there was a Jewish school.
Yeah.
Okay. And for some reason, we snuck into their playground. We were set off the blockbuster in the playground of the Jewish school, which, looking back from it, was kind of
Blew
weird.
up their slide.
But we did it. We set this thing off. We ran a mile, and I'm not kidding. The explosion was unbelievable. It was like
It was
literally
bomb.
every window was shaking, and the whole house was a this. There were people coming out
Holy
like, "What?
shit.
Like we know there were fireworks, but what the fuck was that? Like, did there have been an accident?
Oh my god.
No, my friend. It's only a blockbuster. Go back
Just
inside."
blockbuster.
Only one block.
What is
Only one block.
blockbuster?
It's fine.
It's just a little bit of nitroglycerine and some
Uranium, little bit.
small C4 explosive
It was
plus
crazy.
Some chemical weapon, maybe.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
This is my Russian accent.
So honestly, it's reminding me because when I went on my French exchange, it was Bastille Day.
Wait, you were on an exchange.
I was on a French exchange.
So your parents had a French kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Holy shit!
No way.
And
did they like him better than you?
Yeah.
And then when you came back, they're like, "Oh, get Pepe back,
Mathieu.
Mathieu.
he was nice.
Bring back Mathieu. We all have weird
is so
accents
polite.
now.
He
We
has
spent so much time
so
with Mathieu."
respectful. He's so clean. And so we went on Bastille Day. Of course, it's Firework Day in France, and
They
we
love
went
that
to
shit.
one of their teachers. They were like, "We know where the teacher lives. Let's go to his house. They'd put dynamite in his letterbox." And so we did that. Oh, it was a disaster.
Man.
Never told anyone.
I never went. on
Never
an
told anyone.
exchange.
This is the first time anyone's heard about this.
Did you guys have summer camps when you were small?
Yeah, not in this
No.
country so
No,
much.
yeah.
No, not
They
really.
were pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're big because in the States they've realised that if you can get rid of your kids for the whole summer,
Fuck yeah.
it's like a bonus for the parents. Because in the States you only get 10 days holiday on average, right? Most people get 10 days holiday.
Yeah.
Over here we get like 25, 26.
Because everybody in the States works at like fucking Pizza Hut and shit like that. Like,
And they
that's
still
why.
only get 10 days holiday.
Yeah.
So you have to use it around like certain times
I bet
in
you
the
if
year,
you
right?
ask the chat right now.
Yeah.
All
right, anyone
hands
in the
up
chat-
if you work at
Yeah.
Pizza
If
Hut
you're
and you're American.
If you work in a service
Here we
industry
go.
job like
Here
pizza
they
or
come.
whatever, or
Yeah.
you only get 10 days holiday, give us a shout.
That's like almost everybody in the chat right now works at Pizza
Everyone
Hut.
says they work there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the podcast. So I hope you enjoyed the live podcast. We had fun doing it as usual. Big thanks to our special guest Duncan, who was here.
Thank you, Duncan. That was gorgeous.
First guest ever on Triforce. You did a good job.
I'm honoured.
You did a good job. Great
Thank you.
Russian accent as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Merci,
Very
Duncan.
little knowledge
Merci.
about baseball,
Bonjour.
Duncan said, but there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with your jobs at Pizza Hut and stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
God bless.
Thanks,
Peace.
everybody. We
Peace.
love you.
Peace out. Bye.
Thanks for all the money.
Mwah.
Goodbye.
Mwah.